Broad spectrum antibody. They are bacteriostatic or bactericidal? Who can tell? Last. They are bacteriostatic or bactericidal? Huh? Bacteriostatic. Previously, in the previous class, it has been discussed. These are bacteriostatic because protein synthesis inhibition is there. Okay, inhibition of protein synthesis. Then we have also discussed the tetracycline mechanism of action. It will inhibit the 30S ribosome. Okay, this is tetracycline. 4 cycles are there, and this is the chemical structure of tetracycline. Okay, and different tetracycline are doxycycline, oxytetracycline, minocycline. Okay, then mechanism of action of tetracycline. The tetracycline are primarily bacteriostatic, inhibit protein synthesis. They are primarily bacteriostatic, inhibit protein synthesis by binding to 30S ribosomes in susceptible organism. Subsequent to such binding, attachment of amino acyl tRNA to the acceptor site of mRNA ribosome complex is interfered with. As a result, peptide chain fails to grow. The peptide chain, this is the process of protein synthesis, the peptide bond between the polypeptides. Okay, this will be fail because it will interfere, because it will bind the inhibition of protein synthesis by binding to 30S ribosome. 30S ribosome. Okay, S means Sedberg unit. There are 2 types of ribosomes, one is 30S and 50S. By binding with 30S ribosome tetracycline, it will inhibit the protein synthesis. Okay. This sensitive organism have an energy dependent active transport process which concentrates tetracycline intracellularly. Tapre antimicrobial spectrum. When originally introduced, tetracycline inhibited partially all types of pathogenic microorganisms except fungi. All type of pathogenic microorganisms are killed by tetracycline. Are not killed. They are inhibited. Their growth is inhibited. That's why they are regarded as bacteriostatic, except fungi. Except fungi. Antifungal. Antifungal drugs are, what are the example of antifungal drugs? Fluconazole, itraconazole, ketoconazole. They are antifungal, but they have no they are not active against any type of fungi and viruses also. And what are the susceptible microorganisms? One is cocci, all type of cocci, all gram positive and gram negative cocci. It has been written in KD3. Okay, all gram positive and gram negative cocci were originally sensitive, means they are susceptible. Okay, they are not resistant. like Streptococcus pyrogens. Okay, Staphylococcus aureus, including MR and Enterococci, responsive. Then Streptococcus pneumonia has decreased. Okay, these are the all types of gram positive and gram negative bacteria are sensitive. Okay. Protozoa, Entamoeba histolytica, Mycoplasma, all Rickettsia, all are sensitive. Then resistance. Resistant to tetracycline develops slowly in a graded manner. Resistant cannot be formed simultaneously. It will be formed in a graded manner. Okay. In such bacteria, usually the tetracycline concentrating mechanism becomes less efficient. This is about the resistance. Oxytetracycline, tetracycline, doxycycline, these are the different examples of tetracycline. Then organ toxicity. Organ toxicity I have told in the previous class. Organ toxicity means which is important? Which is important? Bone and teeth formation. The tetracycline is regarded as chelating agent. After and before consumption of milk, you cannot administer any type of tetracycline preparations because tetracycline is a chelating agent. In the milk, the calcium metal is there and it will form a complex. The absorption of tetracycline cannot properly after and before consumption of milk. Okay, I have told in the previous class. And other organ toxicity includes liver damage, kidney damage, risk only in the presence of existing kidney disease. The history of kidney disease, the patients who are suffering from previously kidney disease, you cannot administer the tetracycline because the severity increases. Phototoxicity, photo means light, a sunburn-like or other severe skin reaction on exposed part is seen in some individuals. Then teeth and bone. This is the example. From this area the GPAT question arises. And this is the major organ toxicity on teeth and bones that have chelating property. And other chelating agent. What is the chelating agent? EDTA, ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. It is also a chelating agent. Likewise, tetracycline is also a chelating agent that have chelating property. Calcium tetracycline chelate gets deposited in the developing teeth and bone. Okay, and given from mid-pregnancy to 5 months of extra uterine life, the deciduous teeth are affected. Okay, brown discoloration of teeth. The teeth, brown means धूसर जानिछ ना हळदिया टिके देखा जाए slightly yellowish. Given during the pregnancy or childhood, tetracycline can cause temporary suppression of bone growth. The ultimate effect on stature is mostly insignificant. Then anti-anabolic effect. Tetracycline reduces protein synthesis in the bacteria as well as human beings. The host, in case of host also, they reduce protein synthesis and have an overall catabolic effect, induce negative nitrogen balance and can increase blood urea. The blood urea increases. Increased intracranial pressure. Okay. Then diabetes insipidus. Domiglocicline antagonizes the antidiuretic hormone. Antidiuretic ADH. ADH means antidiuretic hormone. Reduces urine concentrating ability of the kidney. Then vestibular toxicity. I have told in the previous, what is vestibular toxicity? The vestibule is present in which organ? In the internal ear. Okay, internal ear. That is vestibular toxicity. If there is not proper circulation of blood in the vestibular part, then what occurs? Mundo bule. Then hypersensitivity reaction. This is infrequent with tetracycline, skin rash, urticaria, glossitis, pruritus. These are the hypersensitivity reactions of tetracycline. Then chloramphenicol. It is also after tetracycline, chloramphenicol. It is also a broad spectrum antibiotic. Chloramphenicol belongs to which chemical class? I have told 5 times. Yes, nitrobenzene derivative. Okay. Dekho, if you look forward the structure, this is the nitro group. Nitrobenzene is there. That's why it is belongs to class nitrobenzene derivative. Okay, you have to Remember the structure. You have to remember the chemical classification. You have to remember many things you have to remember simultaneously. After that, you are master in pharmacology. Okay. This is the nitrogen derivative. Then mechanism of action. What is the mechanism of action? Chloramphenicol inhibits the bacterial protein synthesis. Same action, tetracycline and chloramphenicol both are inhibiting the protein synthesis, but the site of action is different. 50S ribosome. It specifically attaches to the 50S ribosome. It is written or not? Are you able to looking? 50S ribosome. It specifically attaches to the 50S ribosome. Chloramphenicol inhibits bacterial protein synthesis by interfering with transfer of the elongating peptide chain. The peptide chain elongated. The elongation of peptide chain that leads to protein synthesis. And the elongation is taking place at where? At the ribosome. Ribosome is the site of protein synthesis. The amino acids are attached according to the codon. According to the codon that is carried by messenger RNA, genetic code, and the codon consists of 3 nitrogenous base. Protein synthesis. This is समझते भूलिए कि it has been studied in close to level. Okay. Transfer of elongating peptide chain to the newly attached amino acyl tRNA at the ribosome mRNA complex. It specifically attaches to the 50S ribosome near the acceptor A site and prevents peptide bond formation between the newly attached amino acid and the nascent peptide chain. To the peptide chain, the amino acids are attached. But there the chloramphenicol attached with the 50S ribosome. Thus, it will inhibit the protein synthesis. Okay. Then antibacterial spectrum. Chloramphenicol is primarily bacteriostatic. We know it is bacteriostatic. Though high concentration have been shown to exert cidal effect. If we increase the concentration of chloramphenicol, it may kill the bacteria. That's why cidal effect is there. And what are the bacteria? They are susceptible to chloramphenicol, H. influenza, N. meningitis. It is broad spectrum antibiotic active against nearly the same range of organisms, both gram positive and gram negative, cocci and bacilli, rickettsia, mycoplasma. Broad range of bacteria are killed, are inhibited, okay, by the chloramphenicol. Chloramphenicol was highly active against salmonella, including salmonella typhi. Typhoid can be treated by using chloramphenicol. It is more active than tetracycline against H. influenza. It is less active against gram positive cocci. Okay. Then resistance. This is about the broad spectrum antibiotic like chloramphenicol and tetracycline. Then uses. What are the different uses of chloramphenicol? Pyrogenic meningitis. Meningitis. Tapre anaerobic infections, intraocular infections, enteric fever. Okay. You have to write the headings, main headings, and under some heading 2 or 3 sentences are there. More you do not write because time is very short. Then it is a second drug of choice. It is a second drug of choice for 2 tetracycline for rickettsial infection, especially in young children, and 2 erythromycin for whooping cough. Okay, and this is the second drug of choice, not the first drug of choice. The first drug of choice is tetracycline. Okay, this is the second drug of choice for the treatment of whooping cough and brucellosis, rickettsial infection. Okay. Then for urinary tract infection also, use of chloramphenicol is improper when safer drugs are available. If there is no availability of other safe drugs, you may use, but nowadays some safe drugs are available, that's why it can be rejected. Okay, then topically in conjunctivitis, eye, the ointment are there, chloramphenicol ointment are there. In the conjunctivitis, external ear infection, chloramphenicol 0.5 to 5.0% is highly effective. Okay, this is all about your broad spectrum antibiotic, that is chloramphenicol and tetracycline. Then aminoglycoside antibiotic, aminoglycoside antibiotic. These are systemic aminoglycosides and topical aminoglycosides. The systemic aminoglycosides are included, and what are the examples? Streptomycin, amikacin, gentamicin, kanamycin, okay, tobramycin, and topical aminoglycoside are neomycin and pramycin. Okay. Then mechanism of action. These are active against which bacteria? Gram positive, narrow spectrum antibiotic. Bactericidal antibiotic, general pattern of action which may be described in two ways. Okay. Number one, transport of the aminoglycoside through the bacterial cell wall and cytoplasmic membrane. Number B, binding to ribosome resulting in inhibition of protein synthesis. Two mechanisms are there. Two mechanisms for aminoglycoside antibiotic. Number one, transport of the aminoglycoside through the bacterial cell wall and cytoplasmic membrane. Number B, binding of ribosomes, just like your tetracycline and chloramphenicol. Binding with the ribosome, it will inhibit the protein synthesis. Okay? And the tetracycline bind with 30S ribosome, chloramphenicol bind with 50S ribosome. Is it remember? You can write in the examination. Yes, all can. Okay, so listen carefully in the classroom. It is 50% of your preparation for your examination if you listen carefully, because I am telling all the important things. Okay. Then once streptomycin binds with 30S ribosome, but other aminoglycoside bind with additional site on 50S subunit as well as 30S 50S interface. Here another important thing is there. The streptomycin binds to 30S ribosome, just like your tetracycline. The streptomycin also binds with 30S ribosome, but other aminoglycoside, just like kanamycin, neomycin, pramycin, okay, additional site on 50S subunit as well as 30S 50S interface. 30S 50S interface. What is 30S 50S interface? In between the 30S and 50 ribosome, two rounded surface are there. The greater circle is known as 50S. The smaller circle is known as 30S. In between the 30S and 50S, this area is known as interface between the 30S and 50S. Other than streptomycin, other antibiotics related to aminoglycoside antibiotics, they will bind with 30S and 50S interface. Okay. Then these are the toxicity. These are the toxicity of aminoglycoside antibiotic. Number one, ototoxicity. This is the major side effect. It has been asked in GPAT examination. This is the most important dose and duration of treatment related adverse effect. Dose and duration related adverse effect is ototoxicity. Auto means what? Hearing, yes, sound, very good. hearing. The toxicity to the ear. The vestibular or the cochlear part may be primarily affected by the particular aminoglycoside antibiotic. Okay. The 8th cranial nerve. What is the name of 8th cranial nerve? Vestibulocochlear nerve. The 8th cranial nerve from the brain, it reaches to vestibular and cochlear part of your ear, internal ear. The vestibular part is responsible for body balance and the cochlear nerve is responsible for hearing. Okay, the cochlear part and vestibular part is there in the internal ear. What is the function of ear? In the HAP, it has been described or studied. Hruday sir padhayithive nahi. The cochlear part is the responsible for hearing and the vestibular part is semicircular canals. The 3 semicircular canals are perpendicular with each other and they are responsible for body balance. Okay, and ototoxicity is due to the dose related adverse effect of aminoglycoside antibiotic. This is your cochlear damage. Then it has been described the vestibular. If time is there, you can read it. Okay. Then nephrotoxicity is there. Nephro means nephron. It is the functional unit, structural and functional unit of kidney. Okay. The nephrotoxicity is also there due to administration of aminoglycoside antibiotic. Neuromuscular blockade. What is neuromuscular junction? Neuromuscular junction you have studied in first semester in HAP, human anatomy physics. The junctional place where the nerves and nerve endings are connected with each other. That is known as neuromuscular junction. And the neuromuscular blockade is a toxicity, is a type of toxicity due to administration of aminoglycoside antibiotic. Okay. Then avoid aminoglycoside during pregnancy. Avoid aminoglycoside antibiotics, just like your streptomycin, gentamicin, kanamycin, neomycin, all are avoided during pregnancy, during the time of pregnancy, due to risk of fetal ototoxicity. Fetal ototoxicity means the embryo, the fetus, the baby or the child, it will have ototoxicity, hearing loss of hearing. If you administer the streptomycin, gentamicin, kanamycin, all type of antibiotic during pregnancy period, the fetus has ototoxicity, means there will be loss of hearing. It cannot be recommended during the time of pregnancy. Okay. Are you understanding? Yes. Then uses. Gentamicin is the cheapest other than streptomycin. Is the first line aminoglycoside antibiotic. First line, second line, third line, fourth line. All the lines you have to remember. Which one is the first line antibiotic for which type of disease? Okay. That's why gentamicin is the cheapest one. V2. What is the V2? What is the full form of V2? Value and variety. Value has a very crucial role. Paisa, money. One has criticized the money. One individual or one people, you, has criticized the money. You are just a piece of paper. But the money has replied, I do not go to any dustbin. This type of attitude you must have. Okay. Tome path podhuno. Tumku jiye siye koi do, but your answer is such like that, just like money says. Okay. Then uses It is a first line streptoaminoglycoside antibiotic. Gentamicin is very valuable for preventing and treating the respiratory infections in critically ill patient. For the respiratory infection, the gentamicin has very highly useful. Okay. Then there is description of streptomycin. It is the oldest aminoside and antibiotic. It is obtained from Streptomyces griseus. Always this question arises, or 3 times it has been asked 3 times in the GPAT examination. What is the source from which the streptomycin has been obtained? Streptomyces griseus. Streptomyces griseus. 2 columns are there, A column and B column. You have to match. You have to match in the GPAT examination. And in the column A, aminoglycoside is there. In the column B, Streptomyces griseus is there. That means this streptomycin has been obtained from Streptomyces griseus. You have to match it in the column. Okay. This type of question arises. Then streptomycin dependence. Certain mutants grown in the presence of streptomycin become dependent on it. Then cross resistance. Only partial and often unidirectional cross resistance occurs between streptomycin and other aminoglycoside. Adverse effect. Adverse effect. Streptomycin has the lowest nephrotoxicity among aminoglycoside antibiotic. It have lowest nephrotoxicity. Okay. Then uses. The uses of streptomycin for tuberculosis. In the next unit, we will have to study tuberculosis and leprosy. Okay. These are very severe type of infections in our body, and only one antibiotic cannot have the power to kill or to success from this type of disease. Okay, having cure rate, having less cure rate, or having no cure rates with a single antibiotic. That's why the physicians are recommended multiple drug therapy. Multiple means multiple antibiotics are given at once, simultaneously, to cure from severe type of infections like tuberculosis and leprosy. Okay. And streptomycin is also the drug of choice. Or it has been included in multiple drug therapy. Streptomycin that has been included for the treatment of tuberculosis. Along with streptomycin, other antibiotics are added. Okay. Then plague. For plague, we have Lysin plague. It is a transmitted disease that has been treated with the help of streptomycin. Okay. Then kanamycin, tobramycin, other antibiotics, other aminoglycoside antibiotics are there. कौन है? Next we will discuss macrolide, lincosamide, glycopeptide and other antibacterial antibiotics. Urinary antisepsis. Okay. These are the macrolide antibiotics you have studied. Macrolide antibiotics. Macro means large. These antibiotics have large structure. That's why they are included in macrolide antibiotics. Azithromycin, erythromycin. Okay. Nowadays azithromycin. Physicians are recommending azithromycin. It is a very broad spectrum. All type of microorganisms are susceptible to this antibiotic. Okay. Erythromycin, mechanism of action. Erythromycin is the bacteriostatic at low but cidal at high concentrations. Cidal action depends on the organism concerned and its rate of multiplication. Sensitive gram-positive bacteria accumulate erythromycin intracellularly by active transport, which is responsible for their high susceptibility to this antibiotic. Activity is enhanced several fold in alkaline medium. Okay, and this is the mechanism of action. Erythromycin acts by inhibiting bacterial protein synthesis. It is also bacteriostatic because it acts by inhibiting bacterial protein synthesis. It combines with 50S ribosome. Which antibiotic combine with which type of ribosome? Either 30S or 50S or both, or the interface between 30S and 50S. We have to study it one by one. Okay, it combines with 50S ribosome subunit and interfere with translocation after peptide bond formation between newly attached amino acid and the nascent peptide chain at the receptor A site. The elongated peptide is translocated back to the peptidyl site. 3 sites are there: A site, P site, and another site is there. This is prevented by erythromycin, and the ribosome fails to move along the mRNA to expose the next codon. Okay, genetic codon. Then antibacterial spectrum. It is narrow spectrum antibiotic, includes mostly gram-positive, few gram-negative bacteria, and overlaps considerably with that of the penicillin G. Okay. Then resistance also creates. All cocci readily develop resistance to erythromycin, mostly by acquiring the capacity to pump it out. Okay, to pump it out. Pump it out means it will be ejected out. Okay, the bacteria can pump it out. The bacteria can pump it out or pump the antibiotic from its body. In this way, it will create resistance. Okay.